Are you part of a community where you feel you belong? That's a question I have tonight because we are going to divide this podcast in three parts. So, thinking about the community of learner as well as a community of teachers, but also as a community of leaders. Now, every day we're part of our community, we live in our family, we have work, we are doing all kind of activities during the day. The difficulties and the questions that I have tonight is the idea that being part of a community makes it so much easier to grow. Now, some of you would say, well, part of a community, I live far away from a group. I don't have time to be part of a community, or I don't have the internet. The whole thing to keep in mind is that if you want to feel that you belong as part of a community, and then you need to do a little work because showing up is not enough to be part of a community. Well, showing up is good, and you can meet people. But then again, it doesn't mean that you will be part of that community. If you are going somewhere as a leader, as a teacher, as a learner, and you want to be part of a community, what you have to decide is okay, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, this is the community I want to be part of. Now, what am I willing to give for that? What is the value I'm willing to give to the community, to the group, so that as a person I can grow, but that my community can grow as well? So, this is the key parts we're going to look into tonight. My name is Alain Faber, and I've been teaching in high school for more than 25 years. And I'm here to share ideas and points that I think about during the day or during the week, and that makes me reflect on how to be a better learner, teacher, and leader. So, if you're new to my podcasts are always divided in three parts. The first part is about the learner's perspective. The second part is about the teacher's perspective or the trainer's perspective. And the third part is always about the leader's perspective. Because I think that is important because as a human being, we are all learners in one way or the other. We are all teachers for our community or within our family. And we are all leaders in one way or the other. The whole idea here is how we can nurture the three parts so that we can be the best contributor to our society. So our first segment tonight will be about the learner's perspective. And here, the whole idea here is how can we be part of a community of learner? So I'm a teacher and I work at school every day. And my classroom, so I have three classes every day, and each of those classrooms are part of what I call the community of learners. Now, my whole school is a community of learner. And what is interesting is that you consider that when I go to school, students are coming in wanting to learn something new. They're curious, they want to learn so that they can their progress to go from one grade to the other, from one unit to the other. They feel that they're learning. Interestingly enough, as a teacher, trainer, or even leaders in the school, what is interesting is that you can learn from your students as well. A trainer would learn from his trainees as well. And that's the beauty of a community of learners. So my first example is about classroom, and other parts that happens as well is all this idea of extracurricular activities. So at my school, I lead the STEM club, and we are always have the same 20 students, and then some people come and go, and sometimes they're a bit less, sometimes there's a few more. And the whole idea here is as a group, we're a community of learners within the STEM field. And what's interesting is that we are supporting each other. We bring ideas, we debate ideas, we experiment. So what happens is every time we meet, we learn something new. We don't not necessarily learn from the workshop we have, but we also learn from doing the activities. We also learn from discussing with the other participants in the project. So when we are learning, the whole idea to be part of a community of learners is to be able to collaborate so that you can bring value to the groups. And you most likely have seen that. You are doing a training, you're in a classroom. You notice sometimes that in a classroom, often you have the same group of people that tend to answer questions. So in some classes, sometimes there's the same five. In my science class, I always try to get everybody to speak and answer questions at least once every week. And every day, I try to ask questions. So overall, I have as many people as possible participating. Because when a student participates, then they feel that, first of all, they know the topic, they feel they're contributing, they have recognition within the community or within the classroom. So what happens is that the level of interest increases as we are learning. And I think that's one amazing part where a community of learner is important. Another part we can keep in mind is also hobbies. Some people have hobbies, and we're part of clubs outside the classroom. So, for example, something I like to do. I know it's a bit childish, but I like the video game Minecraft. And to be honest with you, that was my first YouTube channel. And interestingly enough, the reason why I like Minecraft is there's always something new to learn. Now you're going to say, well, the basic game is easy. I do agree. But I do like this idea that there are mods being added to the games. There's some mods where engineering is taken care, where science is being introduced. And the whole idea here is to have a question, a quest, and then you achieve the quest by learning something new. So I use this as a way that in life, if there's something I want to know, I make it a quest. I look at questions, I learn something to achieve what I want to learn. And I think that's quite amazing. And for example, as when I play Minecraft, one of the person I learned from is a YouTuber called Direwolf20, and he does videos all the time. And what's interesting is I watch his videos just for a few reasons. First, it's amazing how consistent he is creating and how much his mind works when he plays the game. So I do enjoy that. I learn from him every time that I watch one of his videos. The other parts that I'm part of a learners club, I'm trying to get more information about business, about the entrepreneurship world. And to be honest with you, the more I learn something new, the more I realize that I don't know much. So this is my big learning path right now. And the big question is so learning is important. And I would say that maybe one of my flaws, which is I do love to learn, and I love it so much that I love to stay within the learner's mode, but eventually I know that I need to apply what I learn. So as a science teacher, I keep learning about science and I share the information. And the whole idea here is that as an entrepreneur, how do you do that? So this is my quest. I started a couple of years ago, and it's still an ongoing quest for me. So many questions I have. So as I go along, you'll see I try to bring ideas and videos on different things I learn. And let's see if that can improve as we go along. And that is my first segment for this podcast. My second segment is about teaching and teacher's life. So the whole idea here is that as a teacher, as a trainer, you could also say that as a parent, you're a teacher for your family. As a tradesperson, you have apprentices that are following your lead, and then they're learning from you. So the whole idea of teaching, it's one title, but it covers so much because our society is about people learning and people teaching what they know. So we can, most of all, answer questions faster and make our world a better place. So as a teacher, trainer, how can we be part of a community? Well, as a teacher, my school is a great ground to be part of a community of teacher. If you are a company where you are so for example, there's a company we are using, D2L. It's a learning management system. So here you have people that are trainers to help teachers and other trainers to organize their thoughts so that students can learn better. So the whole idea here is that the possibility to teach is amazing. In business, someone I like to follow is Alex Hormozy, and I think he's great. He's got great ideas with sales. There's also Russell Brunson, and they've got several books. And guess what? I've read most of their books and more than once, and I still have so many questions that I still don't know how to apply them. And I know that the best way for me to get to know the topic would be to teach the information, because I've my experience is that as I learn something and I teach it as soon as possible, that's the best way for me to learn about it, so that eventually I can apply what I learn. Other ways we can be part of communities with the internet, it's so easy now. A few years back, and even now, Facebook groups are amazing. You have Discord that allow people to be part of a community. There's a Twitch if you do video games. There are also LinkedIn if you're in the professional world. There's so many ways to be part of a community. And the whole part here is, as I mentioned for the learners segment, is that you want to show up as part of a community, but you just don't want to take, because people will notice right away if someone's coming in and is just taking information from them. So, however, if you are coming in for within a community and then you bring value, you bring ideas, you propose solutions. So what happens is that you are becoming part of the community because people see the value you can bring. For the same way that if you're in a community of learners, learners appreciate people that know more than them so they can learn from them. As part of a community of teachers or community of trainers, of people teaching things, the more you are with others, the more you contribute, the more you can actually be part of that community, be welcomed, but also become an active participant and contributor. Never forget how important that is. And for example, as a teacher, there are some associations for example, for French immersion teachers, where I'm at, there are some many associations for science teachers, either provincially or nationally. There's so many things we can do. So being part of a community is easy. You can just pay a subscription. The big question is, are you going to just be part of the community and just learn, or are you going to be part of the community so you can contribute? That, I think, is the key thing. Oh, and I think I'm going to use that word to contribute as part of my conclusion of this podcast. That brings me to the third part of this podcast today, and it's about leadership and how leaders also need to be part of a community of leaders. Because the best way to become a better leader is to be a leader and act as a leader. So when I mention leaders here, people say, well, a CEO of a company, but it's more than that. A teacher can be a leader within their classroom. We can have a team manager or a project manager being a leader for their groups. You can be in your own family. You can be a leader within your family so that you can help each other. In your religious community, you can be a leader there by contributing to help others and guide others in their learning, in their teaching as well. So I think these are all interesting portion, because as for the learners and the teachers and trainers, leaders need their community. How do you find communities of learners? Of communities of leaders, there you go. So as part of a school system, I know that the admin teams always meet so that as leaders, they can meet other leaders to be better. As the idea of leadership, I'm trying to learn about leadership and business. I'm also part of communities and groups so I can learn from people that are a better leader than I can. The only way to get better is to be with people that are better than you. Now, here you have to be careful, because when you are part of a group where a lot of people are better than you, there are still things you can contribute to the group. And what happened is it could be from ideas, from perspective, some ideas where you can bring links, you can introduce different people. Keep in mind that as leaders, you need that community and you need to be a contributor as well. So sometimes you have what we call masterminds. Masterminds are a great way for leaders to become better leaders. I know that as part of masterminds, usually you have to pay to get involved. And the reason for that is often if you pay, you tend to pay more attention and contribute more. And often within those masterminds, you have people that will share what they know, but also they have what they call sometimes hot seats, where you, as part of the mastermind, each individual, each members, they go in the center, So they're called in the hot seat. And then what they do is they share a situation they need help with. So what happened is everybody within the mastermind are proposing suggestions, solution to that person's situation, so that they can put as much of their knowledge together to help that person. And then it goes to the next person in the hot seat. So what happened is that the mastermind is a place where leaders can learn from other leaders to resolve their situation much faster. Because keep in mind that when you have a situation or you have a question, the more it delays, the more it takes time and energy from you, the less you can do of other things. So I do believe that as a learner, as a teacher, and as a leader, as a learner, teacher, and leader, there you go. You need to be able to resolve situation as fast as possible, to answer your questions as fast as possible, so that you can go to the next level. Other ways where leaders can be part of a team or part of a community is to have mentors. Often there are people that love to share what they know because they can see the value you can bring to their industry, to their community. So mentors are a great way for you to be part of a community. And if it happens, so some of you may say, well, you know what? I don't have any community close by that love what I do or that are leaders like I am a leader. And that's why the internet is so amazing. You can go on the internet, Facebook, Discord, and look for communities where you are looking for specific ideas, specific questions. Even YouTube is a great place to learn from leaders. So what happens is you may not have your in your surrounding the people that can help you right away. However, you can certainly watch videos from leaders, from teachers, from learners, and they can help you move forward. For example, there's Evan Carmichael that has his channel, and he's got thousands and thousands of videos about leaders in their own field, sharing their perspective, their wisdom. So, what happens is that you can go and look at Evan's channel and then learn from those individuals, even though you don't know them in person. So life is amazing that way. And that brings us to the end of our podcast tonight, where we talk about the importance of being part of a community as a learner, as a teacher, but also as a leader. And for all levels there, the whole idea here is that you need to feel that you can contribute. And more than that, you need to make a point to contribute so that you can collaborate with everybody or as many people as possible within the group. And the reason for that is the more you contribute, the more people feel that you're collaborating, the more people will welcome you in their community, and that's how you'll grow as a learner. That's how you'll grow as a teacher, and that's how you will grow as a leader. And on this, I wish you an excellent week. We're hoping that you'll be able to find a way to find a community for you. And if it happens, put in the comments below the community that you love to be part of, or the community you'd love to be part of, so that we can help each other possibly as an audience. On this, have an excellent day, and I'll see you next week, next Wednesday at 7:30 same time, so that we can talk about something else about learning, teaching, and leadership. On this, take care.